Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Liv, and this is a reading vlog. Not only is this a reading vlog, but divas, we are in a full-blown crisis mode, okay? It is currently August 17th. I have not finished a book since the beginning of July, and since the end of March, where I read 11 books, I've only read 4 books. So 4 books in the last 4.5 months. Life this year has not been kind to me, but we're not gonna let her win, okay? We're not. So, when I was moving into this new place, if you didn't notice, new location unlocked, I did make sure to, in this tote, put what I believe are all of my shortest books. Because we together are about to go find out exactly how far behind I am on my yearly reading goal, and we're gonna see how much I can get read in a week, maybe, to try to start catching up and to also just get back into the mindset of reading. So, we're gonna pull out Goodreads, and I am gonna go see exactly how far behind we are. I'm gonna think we're somewhere between 25 to 30 books behind. It might be over 30, because I think I made my goal 90. And I'm not sure I've read more than 30 so far this year. I've read 26 books out of 90, and I am officially 30 books behind my reading goal. So, we're gonna have to make some corrections. I don't know that I'll fully get to 90. Honestly, like at this point in the way this year has gone, I would be happy if I hit 50 books. Like, I would be happy if I just got out of the pit of depression and despair I'm in. You know the pit of despair in The Princess Bride? That's how this year has felt for me.
Pit of despair.
Okay? I have one of my little TBR carts, and I'm gonna unpack this bag, and then I'm gonna go hop again into my Goodreads, go to my physical TBR shelf, and see truly what the shortest ones are to maybe start with those. I don't know if I want to go shortest to whichever, but I didn't really check any of these. I just went, these are the thinnest books I own. I will say right on top is this book of lunch poems by Frank O'Hara that someone gifted to me. I'm assuming that maybe this will be my shortest book, but let me unpack all of these and then let's find out what we're gonna read first together, okay? I will see you in a hot second. I don't know why I thought it was going to be more, because obviously I grabbed the thinnest books on my TBR, but they do all literally fit just on the top of this. I do have a few more totes that just have some random TBR stuff that I think I want to get to soon. And then everything else, ignore, just, girl, it's been a few days. All those books, boxes in the corner are the rest of my TBR. I did unpack just my read books because it takes up less space to have books on a shelf than in the boxes. Let's figure out what we're gonna be reading first. I'm almost kind of like, babe, I just want to choose, but let me see just what some of the shortest little guys are. Okay, I have my physical TBR pulled up. Let me see, number of pages. It's loading. How anticlimactic. And then I know some of these are going to be like, Goodreads is slow today, girl. I know some of these are probably going to be like, you know how sometimes Goodreads is like a 500-page book and they're like, yeah, it's 34 pages. That might be happening. Oh my god, the first things are popping up are some of the Sherlock Holmes books, which I don't think they're the shortest. I was like, yeah, like these, they just think it's an audiobook. Okay. So the first one is, in fact, Lunch Poems by Frank O'Hara at 82 pages. But next is, where are you? Binti by Nettie Okafor. This could be a good one. This is 90 pages long. And then after that is going to be Good Bones by Bangy Smith, which is another poetry book that I bought just because I had heard the end of one of these poems before and said, I need that. Ooh, my camera's going to overheat, which makes sense. It's toasty in here. Let's just pull out the next few that pop up that I have available, because one is The Fire Next Time, and I don't know where that is currently. The Salt Grows Heavy, Sliver in the Wood, and Termush, which I had a different plan for a video for this, but maybe, ooh, and those, and then Graveyard Shift. So maybe we're just gonna start here with these. I'm gonna pick one to read. I do think I want to start with a book, so maybe I'm gonna read some synopses and then choose what I want to pick up, and I will let you know once I get there. Book 1 done. Only 29 more to go. As you saw, I started Binti by Nnedi Okorafor. I am going to give this 4 stars. I had a really fun time. I will say at first, the same thing that happens every single time I pick up a sci-fi happened, and I was like, I'm not smart enough for this. But we got past it. This is also the first day off in 4 or 5 weeks where I just I haven't had something to do, I haven't had to go somewhere, I haven't had to get stuff done, and I can just relax, and it feels wrong. So at first I was like, I'm gonna read 10 pages and then unpack some more clothes. I'm gonna read 15 pages and then unpack the rest of the books that were in the totes, my TBR books. So it definitely took me a minute to be able to sit down and lock in and focus up, you know. We are following in this book a young girl named Binti. They didn't actually give me her age. At one point she just said other students ages 15 to 18. So she's somewhere around there. And she has gotten into this very prestigious university across the galaxy. And where she's from on Earth, no one ever leaves their tribe, nobody ever leaves home. It's wrong of you to do that, so she sneaks out in the middle of the night to go on this big adventure. This whole first book, novella, I guess, they're all short books. I don't know how many are in this series, is just Binti's trek across the galaxy to get to this university, but I did really, really have a good time. I wasn't expecting to want to pick up the next ones, but I think I do now. I will say I'm not someone who reads a lot of short books in a row, and I do feel like I'm gonna want something more that I can bite my teeth into. I did with all of my short ones pack Several People Are Typing, not because it's a short one, but since it's told in Slack messages, I figured it would still be quick. So I'm gonna do that soon. But first, because we're trying to get the Goodreads goal down, I am going to do this little one of poems. A friend gave me this. I'm not a big poetry girl. So I'm going to do this. And then also, when I was moving, I found, which I had not seen in years, my Saga graphic novels. I read the first 3 when I was in high school because these were all that was out at the time. And I do remember very much enjoying them. That being said, they were purchased on one of my trips to go see my neuro Olympic concussion specialist. So I don't remember a ton of what happened in these. I do remember, I think in the 3rd one, we reveal who the narrator is, or maybe that was the last page of the first one. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you because that's a spoiler. And I have since bought 4 and 5, but I've never read them. So I am thinking I could reread these 3 and read these 2. And then also read this today, before the day is done. And then I will at least feel like I am making a dent in getting back towards my Goodreads goal, my reading goal for the year. So then I can pick up something Several People Are Typing. And then also, I'm thinking maybe the horror or the vegetarian. They're just closer to 200 pages. And I'm in the mood for something that I want to keep turning that page, you know what I'm saying? And not something that's just 90 pages long. It still feels wrong for me to not be doing anything today, so I think I'm going to give myself a time limit. It's 3:44 now, and I think by 6 or 6:30, I want to start editing my March through July wrap up just to get a head start. Not a head start. We're behind, babe. Don't call it a head start. Just to get back into the groove of editing. Okay, I will be back in a couple hours to let you know how the Live V reading goal competition is going. I'm not gonna lie. The mechanics of like writing poetry and everything, not something that I ever fully understand. So coupling that with a lot of poems that were just like filled to the brink with 1950s references, I didn't fully understand a lot of what I was reading. There was a couple that I liked. There was my favorite was called Ave Maria, and it was just a poem about how the mothers of America need to let children go to the movies more often, and I thought that one was funny. But yeah, a lot of it was just like 50s reference after 50s reference, and I was like, I'm not Googling all of this. And then there was just some random stuff, like this one is just called Poem, and it's, wouldn't it be funny if the finger had designed us to just shit once a week? All week long we get fatter and fatter, and then on Sunday morning, while everyone was in church, plop, 1959. I was like, oh yeah, potty humor, the age-old humor. There was one where like a lot of the poem I didn't understand, but then it ended with like, you will never be mentally sober. And I was like, that's crazy, I didn't need to hear that today. There was one that basically said like, the meaning of fertility was hard and moist and moaning, and I was like, ew. And there was a reference to an apartment in Manhattan that was $120, and I was like, brother, a girl can dream, right? Can't she? Yeah, I'm definitely not rating it. There was one that was just like all paragraphs filled with 50s references, and I was like, I'm not even reading. I don't know. I'm just skipping ahead. But hey, 28 more books to go. So okay, I'm gonna go jump into Saga, because that's something I will understand, and then I'll pop back in a bit. Alright, it's now like 7:30. I read all of volume 1 of Saga. I had fun. There's a lot I don't remember. This has the first 5 of the comics in it, and I pretty much remember nothing, especially because earlier I told you that the narrator either gets revealed at the end of this or like the third one. They tell you who the narrator is 3 pages in. 3 pages in. Might be. I am still gonna not tell you about who the narrator is, because I do remember when Saga was first taking over BookTube in like 2013, 2014, everyone not saying it and just saying it was a really cool narrator to be reading from. So I'll leave that out. But this is kind of not Romeo and Juliet, but it is like star-crossed lovers. They are both on opposite sides of a war that is kind of ravaging this galaxy that they live in. Both, I think it's, she lives on the planet and he lives on like the moon on the outside of this planet, and they're the two that are at war, but instead of ruining their homes, they've just decided to like fight on other planets and other nations in the galaxy. And they meet on opposite sides, fall in love, have this little bambino, and you're just following them, trying to figure out a way to stay together, to get away from both of their sides and survive. I went back into my Goodreads to see what I rated it when I read it in high school, and your girl didn't rate it. I don't read a lot of comic books, but I guess like it feels like a 4. Isn't a, oh my god, I love it, amazing, incredible, but isn't just like a, yeah, it was okay. Like, it's in the middle. It was a really fun time. I do really like the art. I will say some of the sex things probably went a little more over my head when I originally read them in high school. I did read in the Goodreads and it was like for adults. I was like, oh, shut up. But yeah, some of it maybe didn't register as much when I was in high school. I probably like barely glanced at those pages. After that, I took Navy for a nice long walk. I did about 30 minutes of editing, which to start getting back into it, my goal, I set a timer for 15, so making it to 30 was great. But I am now starving and I need to go make myself dinner because we're getting closer to 8. But I also read 65 pages of several people are typing. This is goofy. This is fun. I thought this was like a whole office who gets like sucked inside Slack and they're trying to figure it out. It is one man whose consciousness has apparently been just uploaded to Slack. He doesn't know how he got there. He had just been like updating a spreadsheet and is now living inside Slack. All of his coworkers think that it is a bit for him to be able to work from home because their policy doesn't actually give a limit on work from home days. And you're also just following kind of the rest of this office, showing like a new inter-romance office that's happening. They're a PR firm and they're showing the case that they're working on right now, which is this dog company who someone poisoned a batch of the food, but it apparently only affects the livers of Pomeranians, so there's like a dozen dead Pomeranians or something, and they're trying to retain clients and make social media posts saying, hey, this food is safe now for all dogs, but especially Pomeranians. Also, while dealing with like the person who got the brief from this company no longer works there, so they don't have the brief, but they're a little too late in the game to tell this dog company that, hey, we lost the brief. And it's just like such funny office stuff that I'm having a good time. It's so quirky and fun. I was gonna settle down for the evening and watch the new episode of Cloudward Ho from this week. And then when I went to see if it was going to be more like an hour and 45 minutes or a 2.5 hour style episode, it's just the 11-minute recap episode. And I don't need the recap episode because I have in fact already watched all of the 10 first episodes. So now I'm going to watch something else. I might read a little before I go to bed. My mind recently has just been racing at bedtime. I have been an emotional wreck, and I do a good job of keeping it at bay during the day. And then when I lay down and my room is dark and my mind just like races, doesn't shut up, can't sleep. So I'll do the 20-minute rule today, which is if you don't fall asleep after 20 minutes, get the frick up and do something until you feel tired again. So I might end up back out here reading a couple times, but I will update you tomorrow on what else I've read. I definitely want to continue this. I'll let you know maybe when I'm like around halfway. It's only 250 pages and it's going to be very quick to get there. And then I'll pick up probably Saga as well, the next 2 or 3 before I decide what other book I'm going to start devouring. But I will see you all tomorrow. I need some dinner. Okay, I got up this morning. I made myself read all of Saga Volume 2 before I could have my coffee. I did go check. Past Olivia did rate this. She rated it 5 stars, which is interesting because I think current me, Olivia, maybe liked Volume 1 more than Volume 2. I don't know. We got a little more backstory like into our star-crossed lovers in here, but obviously I'm not going to really tell you much about the plot that's going on in here because it's the second volume of something. I also, after I finished that and allowed myself to get my coffee, read a bunch more of several people are typing. I am now on page 137, so I'm a little over halfway through. This is still just a fun, quirky time. I have absolutely zero idea what the end goal is going to be. Like, what exactly? Whatever this is building up to, I have not a clue, babes. Not a single one. Obviously, our guy Gerald, he is still stuck in Slack. His work from home, they're like, oh my god, you're so productive, you're so incredible. There's been one person from the office who's gone to check on him, and it's like, oh, you're for seriously, like, stuck in Slack. So there's one person that knows. There's a bunch of other, like, funny stuff going on in the office. Someone thinks the janitors are messing with the furniture in his office. And this one girl, like, from the very beginning of this book, keeps referencing... I just whacked myself in the head. Keeps referencing this howling that she's hearing. So I don't know what that has to do with anything. Maybe... I don't know. I don't want to theorize because I fear it would be a spoiler to even do that. But I am really enjoying this and getting back into these. I am gonna probably in about... What time is it? It's 3:40, probably a little bit after 4. I'm gonna go take Navy on a little walk and then go drive for Uber Eats because I'm in financial crisis and I don't think I can Like yesterday, having a day where I made no income at all literally made me want to throw up, so I can't do that again. But until I leave, I'm just gonna see how much more of this I can read, and then maybe, since it's a Monday, I don't know how many Uber Eats orders are gonna come in, I can bring this to read just while like I'm parked. I don't think I'm in a situation where I can listen to an audiobook and do food delivery. That's not gonna happen. Yeah, I will probably update you guys later tonight, but I'm gonna go read some and I will chat with you later. That window's open. Hopefully the street doesn't get too loud. Clearly Navy heard something because he hopped up right before I hit record. I just finished Several People Are Typing. I'm whispering because I don't really know how sound works in this new apartment building yet, and it is 10:02 p.m. We have to go on a walk. I shouldn't have said that out loud. This was so goofy. This was so funny. Did I already tell you I finished it? My brain, she's working. Like I said in the earlier clip, I didn't know where I thought this was going. It never crossed my mind that how it ended would be how it ended. It was so quirky and fun. I'm giving it 4 stars only because like there were a lot of other mysteries happening inside this little Slack universe that I never got answers to that I do wish I could. But it was so fun. I wonder if this author has anything else that they've written. His writing and reporting have been featured in Vice, Mel Magazine, and Electric Literature. This is his first book, 2021. So I don't know, maybe I'll check it out, see if he's put anything else out. This was a really fun time. And I am now 25 books away from being on track. I didn't pick up any of Saga Volume 3, so I will do that. Oh my god. A little later before I go to bed, and then again in the morning, and then I guess tomorrow I have to pick a new book to read. I'm kind of gravitating towards the horror, maybe, but I will decide in the morning. That is all for now. I just had to get on here and laugh about this. This was so fun. Again, so unexpected. I wonder if there's anyone who's like, yeah, that's totally where I saw this book going. And I guess if you read the entire inside synopsis to the literal last sentence, which I would never do. I usually only read like the first paragraph at most, then maybe you could figure it out. But I don't know, that was so fun. That was such a good time. I like read the entire synopsis. I just got something in my eye, probably an eyelash. Sorry, I shoved my eye in your face. That was rude. I did read it probably about halfway through, and I thought that that part of the synopsis was in reference to something else. So, good time, 4 stars. Could have been 5 if you let me in on a little more of the mysteries. Like, I wanted to know. Like, I wanted to know what the author, like, background reason was for some things. But I can't stop yawning, and I gotta go take this little guy, OUT. So, I'll see you tomorrow when I pick a new read. Quick update, because I have to leave in like 5 minutes to take this little guy on a WALK before I go to work. But this morning I read volumes 4 and 5 of Saga, and I'm fully obsessed again. There's so much in the first 3 volumes that I didn't even remember happening, and they just end on such perfect cliffhangers. I literally just went and put like the next 7 of them on hold at the library, which I think all of them are like available except for maybe 10, 11, and 12. Those are currently in use, but I'm not going to read them more for this video, but I would love to just fully catch up on this series. I'm so happy to get back into it. That being said, I did not pick up an actual physical novel yet today. I'm going to choose when I get home from work tonight. It will be like 11:30, so maybe I'll just choose in the morning. Right now I'm kind of in between The Heart by David Sodergren and Every Heart a Doorway by Shawnee Maguire, which originally I didn't want to pick this up because I only have the first 4, and I'm worried that just like this I'm gonna want to binge it. But hey, that's what the library's for. Mostly Every Heart a Doorway is the only one out of everything on my cart where the audiobook is available on Libby, and obviously I've had a lot going on in my life, so sometimes just staring at the page, like I can only focus for 10 minutes at a time, so I would love to follow along with an audiobook. I'm not just like a solely audiobook listener. That being said, I canceled my Audible a while ago, but I do still think I have like 10 credits, so I could just pick up The Har on there instead. and wait until like I'm in a position to binge this whole series, because that seems like it could be fun. But I will make a full decision later when I get home. I do remember I started this on vacation like a year ago. I made it 6 pages in, but I was really enjoying it. It just wasn't the vibe that I wanted while sitting in a cabin at the woods. So that's my very quick update. I gave both of these, or actually I think I gave this one 5 stars and this one 4 stars, or maybe I gave them both 4 stars because it's hard for me to feel like a graphic novel is like, yes, top tier, needs to be a 5 star. But I forgot how much I loved the writing in these. Like, a lot of the narrator's writing, it's just so good. I love all of the conversations that we're having throughout the book, and it is a really good fun time. Okay, I am gonna go be a working woman again, devastatingly. It's always such a bummer after 2 days off having to go back to work. But I will see you later once I have started an actual real novel, I swear to God. One, yes, I chopped off all my hair. I couldn't do it anymore, okay? It's too freaking hot. If I feel it on the back of my neck like one more time, I'm gonna lose it, so I chopped it. But time for an update. I decided to pick up the horror. Immediately after using a credit on Audible, I was like, you idiot, Spotify exists and it is on there, but it's too late. I was gonna wait until I was like 50 pages into this to update you. But either I'm just still emotional after everything that's gone on in my life in the last couple weeks, or I'm severely PMSing because I am 28 pages into this and I've been like crying since page 17. This, I was not expecting to be that emotional that quick. Oh my God. But just like, okay, the concept of this book, from what I know, is we're following an old woman named Muriel. She's in her 80s, I think. Does it say? I think it said in the beginning. I think she's 86 maybe. Her husband passed away 12 years ago. She's still just in this small Scottish fishing village that they live in the house that he built for them. And this stupid American billionaire is like trying to buy all the property to build a golf course because billionaires suck. But just like going into a town hall with like the 6 old people who are left in this town, I'm gonna cry talking about it. I can't. I already put on makeup for work. Fuck. Oh my God. I'm unwell. Is it gonna be like this the whole time? Oh my God. I wasn't expecting to cry again now. Crazy. I think just watching people be so fucking terrible to these older people and have zero compassion, and I really think I must be PMSing. I don't know. I can't wait for a monster to come kill all these people, because that's the rest of the synopsis that I didn't tell you. The horror, I think, is gonna be some sort. I think it says in like the first sentence is, yeah, Muriel Margaret Macaulay was 84 years old the first time she saw a man turned inside out by a sea monster. I would like for the sea monster to show up and start turning people inside out like 10 pages ago. That's what I need to happen, because then I'll stop crying. Oh my God. Like, they just killed her chickens, bro. Her chickens? They said, we're gonna bulldoze this and we're not gonna take the chickens out first? I'm irrationally angry as well. Oh my God. But I did just need an update. I was gonna wait a little. I have to finish WALKing and getting ready for work. WALKing sounds crazy. This guy, and getting ready for work in probably like 35-40 minutes. So I am just gonna keep reading along, unless it's gonna keep making me cry, because I do have mascara on. I also got I got the audiobook. The audiobook, she can speak. I love the narrator because it is a Scottish woman, so that's also just like extra fun. But yeah, it emotionally wrecked me within 11 pages. Like, I'm like, what, bro? I'm here for a horror novel. What do you mean? So crazy. but I'm gonna keep reading because I am already like sucked in, loving it, and I will update you once I'm a little further along. And hopefully not crying next time. What the hell? Okay, I know I keep updating y'all in like the same spot, but the rest of the house is just like a mess of moving boxes, so it's just gonna have to keep happening. I almost updated you at like 12:45 a.m., but I still don't know how sound carries in this new apartment building. But now I'm 121 pages into the horror. I am absolutely eating it up, and my battery is gonna die. Okay, well, like I said, 120 pages in, eating it up. Last night, when I was on my ride home, I listened to, I think, chapter 9 on the drive home, and I sobbed the entire way. So apparently, oh my god, this is what my new hair looks like after I sleep on it, and that's crazy. I sobbed the entire way home. So apparently old people is where I draw the line, because I was just so unwell, and I was like, why are we doing this to them? I can't really tell you really anything else, obviously, that's happening in the plot. I will say I had a theory about this sea monster like going into the book, and at first I thought I was right and I was incorrect, so I do love that. This book is giving such 5-star energy. I am eating it the heck up. I keep saying that. Take a drink of water every time I say I'm eating it up, and you're going to be so hydrated. It is 209 pages, so I only have like 90 pages left. That's math, yeah. And I think I can finish this before I have to start getting ready for work today. So I'm gonna go sit down and lock in, and I'll update you in a couple hours when I'm done with this book. You already know. It's 5 motherfucking stars. It was so good. It was actually only 200 pages, and the last 9 pages were like the memoirs of David Sodergren's grandmother, who Muriel is loosely based around, which I also listened to and read that. It was so good. Oh my god. It was just such a good book. I loved it. I can't wait to read some more David Sodergren because this was incredible. I am so mad I picked this up last summer and ended up putting it down because what a book. So freaking good. I haven't picked out my next book yet. I don't know yet. I'm probably just gonna peruse some of audiobooks on Spotify to see which of the shortest books I have are also on there, or see if any of the holds I put on any of my short ones on Libby have come through, because I have not checked. I now have to go get ready for work. I'm gonna see what happens when I try my curl routine on this new hair that I somehow fit into a ponytail while reading, and now it just looks crazy. Oh my god. I only cried like 2 more times, guys. Jesus, this book like destroyed me in the best way. And I loved the ending so much. If you've read any other David Sodergren, let me know what I should pick up next. I know there's The Forgotten Island, Maggie's Grave, Tommy Rotten, and I think there's a few others. So if you have any suggestions, let a girl know. Oh my god, I'm gonna go get ready for work. I can't. It was so good. Everybody read The Har, please. Oh my god. Chef's kiss. So good. Okay, we're showered. There's product in. I'm gonna see what happens. I'm a throw in, like, scrunch in some curl product and let it dry kind of gal. There's not a lot to scrunch, so we're gonna see what happens. Also, if any of you, earlier, were like, whoa, is she updating us 2 days in a row in the same t-shirt? Yeah, okay, I did. I have to pay for laundry now. So having a lounging at home shirt, that's just good budgeting, okay? No, I didn't even think about it until like I was in the shower and I was like, you idiot, you look messy. I did some research, okay? And these 4 books, all available on Spotify, all with the amount of number of hours I still have left in my Spotify listening hours that I don't have to purchase anymore. So, I have Your Shadow Still Remains by Sunny Moraine, The Salt Grows Heavy by Cassandra Caw, Graveyard Shift by ML Rio, which I have not read an ML Rio yet. I have We Are Villains somewhere, but I've never read it. We Are Villains, is that what it is? Whatever it is, I have their other book. And What Moves the Dead by T. King Fisher. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop in to the Layer Discord. Shout out Jan Agaton. Join her Patreon. We can yap about books in her Discord all the time. And I'm gonna throw up like a 4 or 8 hour poll. It'll be fully answered once I'm at work, so I can start one of these when I get home later. I should be the first cut at work tonight, so I should have some reading time. If, though, there is anything I know about Jan and the people who watch Jan and are in her Patreon, there's a good possibility I will be reading my first Tea Kingfisher. I feel like this has had mixed reviews, so I don't know if anyone will vote for it. I also feel like maybe The Salt Grows Heavy is pretty polarizing. And this one, I don't know that much about. I know someone said it's similar to either Bird Box or A Quiet Place. I've only seen A Quiet Place. I haven't seen or read Bird Box. Is it called Bird Box? The Josh Mallerman book? Now I hope it's Josh Mallerman and I'm not just talking out of my bum. Yeah, one look can kill you in this haunting post-apocalyptic tale where eye contact causes people to spiral into a deadly, violent rage. I don't really know what any of these are about, except that this is like a mermaid or something and a plague doctor. And this is about people working a graveyard shift. So I also love, and I'm not sure I ever noticed, like the holographic part. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but the mushrooms and the mouse, the pink is like holographic. And I love that. Okay, but I will be back when I have an answer to this poll, and hopefully my hair doesn't look absolutely crazy because your girl has to make some money, but we'll see how it dries. Okay, but that is all, and I will see you when I have an update for the poll and who has won and what I'll be reading next. I am in the same spot every time. Next time we're just gonna have boxes as my background, I swear to God, just to change it up. Okay, as promised, here's me with a background of boxes. And this thing of clothes I forgot to move. Oh well, we've begun. You can see the mess. I just got home from work, back in my lounge shirt. Yes, I am. And the poll results are in. And with 19 votes, the winner is The Salt Grows Heavy. I didn't even think about it when I was writing the poll. But since this is a short books vlog, I put the number of pages. So people might have just voted for it because it was the shortest one. I really did think that What Moves the Dead was going to win. And I do believe that had the second most votes. Yeah, so The Salt Grows Heavy out of 19 votes got 10. What Moves the Dead got 3. Got 6. Graveyard Shift got 3. And Your Shadow Half Remain got a whopping 0. So I'm gonna pick up The Salt Grows Heavy next. 106 pages, should be pretty quick. That being said, now there actually is a new episode of Cloudbird How out, and I am gonna watch that because this is the earliest I'm gonna get home from work all week. I don't know if I'll finish it tonight. I will probably at least read a chapter of The Salt Grows Heavy, but I am just gonna chill a little, watch some goofy little YouTube, watch Cloudward Ho, and then I'll settle into a new book. But I just wanted to update you with the results of the poll and let you know what we're gonna be reading. I didn't grab it, I should have, but it's too late. Also, these boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it's all TBR books. It's all TBR. I am gonna have to go through them before I move out of here, because my move out of here is gonna be another temporary move because my life is a mess and I just can't imagine moving 600 books 2 more times in like the next 6 or 7 months. Maybe. No. I'm so sorry if in the background you heard my dog nibbling on his leg. He's a freak. But I am just going to have to go through, and I think if they've been on my TBR for a really long time, they're going to have to go. And maybe one day I'll pick them up again at the library or a used bookstore, but I can't.
Today, Junior?
I can't do it 2 more times. I can't. Not if I'm maybe not even going to read some of them for another 5 years. So, okay, there's a bunch of other boxes and stuff here that I keep running into. So I'm going to end this update, and I will talk to you once I have started The Salt Grows Heavy. Can you lay down? Always got to keep an eye. He's always watching, just so he can howl at whatever he wants to. So, yesterday, I read all of The Salt Grows Heavy by Cassandra Khaw. I did finish it right before work, so I didn't have time to update you. And then I got home at 2 a.m., so I didn't have time to update you. This book, we are following a mermaid and a plague doctor, kind of as this mermaid who is, in fact, like, it's a twisted fairy tale, right? So she has been brought ashore to marry a prince, blah, 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 blah. This is years after, and it's a twisted fairy tale. You know, the prince sucked. She is leaving her daughters in charge of this kingdom where it's kind of just nothing but ash now. And we're just kind of following this plague doctor and the mermaid on their travels, and they come across this town that is filled with children and these saints that are taking care of the children. And that's all I'll kind of leave it at for now, because this is a very short book. I think I'm gonna land at like a 3.5 star for this. There were some aspects of this I really liked. One, I love a twisted fairy tale more than anything, so that obviously was a good factor for me. And I loved the gore in this book. That was also really great for me. There was something in the writing that makes it harder for me to connect and like enter the story. And I think it's when you give me a book that's this short, because I think the epilogue ends right before page 100. So it's not even 100 pages long. And I think when I have a book that's this short and a writing style that is like so heavily focused on descriptors that it's hard, do not bark at our neighbors. It's hard for me to fully like connect with our characters and be able to enter the story. So there was some parts where like the descriptors, when we're talking about the gore, that was great, but it was just like kind of constantly throughout the writing, and I think that was what made it hard for me to connect, because I also really loved the end of this one, and I just like wish that I could have had that connection to our characters, because it could have been like a freaking grand slam. So yeah, I would definitely read something else by Cassandra Khaw, maybe something longer format, because I would imagine that the writing style is going to stay the same. I know not a lot of people that I follow, at least, liked Nothing But Black and Teeth. Like, all of my friends' reviews of this are, I like this so much more than Nothing But Black and Teeth. But I would probably definitely read something else, because I did love, like, the twisted nature and the gore. You are so pathetic. Trying to spy on people. Okay, I think it's been about a week. I'm gonna end this vlog tomorrow. So I think maybe the last book I'll end up picking up is gonna be Graveyard Shift by Emma Rio. It's just still pretty short, and I think I should be able to get the whole audiobook done with the audiobook hours I have left in Spotify. So I'll probably start that later tonight, because I think today, during the day, I'm gonna go see the movie Weapons, because it's been a stressful few weeks and I just want to do something for me, and I'm not really sure that there's anything that a giant bucket of popcorn and a large soda couldn't fix, right? So there's also a movie theater near the grocery store, and when I went grocery shopping the other day, I went to Aldi for the first time, and apparently they don't have like bread, so I need that. And also I forgot, like, I don't own salt or pepper or anything yet, so I also just need some little things. False Fall is over, and it is warm as hell again, so nothing also sounds better than sitting in an air-conditioned movie theater. After our WALK this morning, we both literally just went and laid in front of the fan for like 45 minutes until we cooled down. It was brutal. I was like, I can't even go shower yet. I can't. But yeah, I'm gonna go to the movies. I'm gonna hop into this. I'm gonna keep reading some sagas in the background. I know I told you I was gonna stop updating you, but I finished volume 7 last night, and this one punched me in the heart like 3 times. This whole series is just like constant 5-star after 5-star. So freaking good. So I'm gonna I think I have 2 more from the library, and I could probably go get the rest of my holds from the library today too. So I am now, I will say, let me see, I was just looking and I already forgot. I only have to read 19 more books to get back on track. How about that? We started at what? At 30, so hey, 11 down. I will frickin' take it. Okay, I will see you guys later with a reading and a movie update. Okay, so today, while doing a bunch of chores around the apartment and trying to get less boxes everywhere and get situated, I listened to the entirety of Graveyard Shift by Emma Rio, and I'm giving it 2 stars. Which is such an unfortunate note to go out on for this vlog. This had so much potential, And when I say so much potential, I mean so much potential. And just nothing was like fully explored at all. This probably could have done with being another 50 or 100 pages, and it could have been so much more interesting if just you really dove into all of the things we barely dove into in this. But this is, I always tell you on my review before I tell you what this is about, but this is about 5 people who they all work and or go to work around this college or go to this college, and you can't smoke within like 500 feet of any of the buildings, so they all smoke in this old like abandoned cemetery every night, and it's like 5 of them, and they're just kind of the regulars who smoke at this cemetery. And one night they go and they meet up, and there is a freshly dug grave, and they have to figure out kind of what this grave, why this grave is here, who it's for, what's going on. Oh, and there were so many good scenes and so much good potential, and just drop the ball. Emma Rio, this is the ball. And she just, whoop. I think. I've never actually looked at the author bio. Yeah, so just, I wish it could have been more. I wish it could have been better, but at least now I've read an ML Rio, and I did like the writing. I just wanted more out of literally every single thing that was introduced. And how did my battery just go from half to none at all? Who's to say? But that being said, hopefully I can do this before the battery dies. We'll see. I read 12 things in the last week, and I now am only 18 books behind on my reading goal. Maybe it's just a car. So, will I ever catch up? I don't know. I will say absolutely devastating that I just hit 40 books, because last year I think I hit 40 books in like the first 2 days of July. So, bummer that it took me until nearly the end of August. But, hey, you know, we're doing our best. I am, though, very excited to maybe jump into something longer. I think my next vlog is just going to be a mood reading vlog, so I can pick whatever I want to do. I have not been good about editing. I still have my entire March through July wrap up to film, or not film, edit. And it is, do not lick like that when there are people listening. That's icky. It's the 25th, so I have to get that up so I can film a review for August, which so far is just these books because I have hardly read in the last couple months. But hey, we're doing our best. I am sorry if this wasn't the most entertaining vlog, because I did obviously read 8 volumes of Saga and could only really tell you about the general concept of the first one, and then also like this poetry book that I couldn't say crap about because I don't know anything about poetry. I will say also by the end of the night I will have finished this volume of Saga and will be down to 17 books. So also I did go to the library and pick up the rest of the holds for the rest of the series that is out, which is just 3 more. But hey, doing our darndest. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye!